Good evening, folks. It is 8:30 on the Eastern Coast here on Monday evening, October 2nd, as I had to look that up. I'm Scott Schertzen. That's Day. That's Ryan. Rob Manning is connected, but currently not actually on camera. So, just see, that's what I'm getting right now. So,
What?
he got
I don't
smooshed.
know.
He got smooshed.
It's like the hair grew out so much, it just pushed him down.
There we go. Oh, that's
I don't
better.
know why I'm frozen.
Oh, God.
You know what? You probably should just let it go.
You guys at
He
least
has the
hear
hair
me?
for it.
We can hear you fine, but yeah, you just got a big old
The
smile.
video
It's a
is
nice
just
smile. Don't
funny.
get me wrong. It's a good smile. But...
Yeah, you know what?
Got a good smile.
Keep this.
All right, we'll leave it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Rob
Compared to
on
the other
location.
It's like it's like the end of an episode of a show in the 80s. It's like, well, that's a great way to end. Roll credits. So anyway, so we got a few things we're going to be talking about. It is now officially October, which means it's Halloween season. Huzzah! For that.
And then it'll be Christmas.
Yeah, oh God,
Shut
already.
up. I want my turkey.
God.
Ryan,
You can have
as
turkey
you can
during
tell-
Christmas.
Ryan, as you can tell, is very happy and very excited about the concept
Yeah.
of Halloween in this particular case.
I love
we
me
have-
some spooky season.
We have something called Thrills and Chills that he's going to be going into. He is redeeming his victory, and I believe it was Jeopardy for a few months back, to spend a month, in this case, every episode, talking a little bit about horror and various vantage points. He even went out of his way to create an intro for it, which we'll be playing during the show, which is pretty badass.
So my
So-
question is, are we doing Jeopardy with horror?
Yeah.
Would.
No. Pretty much every week there's going to be a discussion about a certain subgenre of horror. Pretty much like different kind of characters or different kind of theme motifs. So this way we just do something that's really just horror oriented. What's up, Chillum?
Well, we should do
Or Chill
a.
Mo- Sorry. Oh, I said the F word. No. Chill MF.
Mhm.
Sorry,
We
this is
should
how
do
hyped I am. All right, I just spent the last weekend working at a haunted house, and now I'm like coming over and doing this stuff. So it's like I'm ready for it.
We should
So we all
definitely do a
look-
horror
do
trivia.
any of,
That'd be fun.
Wait, any one of y'all do looks smacking? What?
I would do look minimum. I don't know. I'm old.
Looks maxing.
What's that?
I know, it
No,
looks
no.
amazing.
So
I don't know. You'd have to ask Rob.
Quick Cheese said, "What's up, bro? What's up, Cheese?"
yeah, what happened to the
Ooh.
fourth guy? Basically, Rob right now is currently locked into a permanent smile. It's like basically one of those episodes of Batman the Animated Series where Joker just like freezes people. So he is stuck that way. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah,
about
Rob's gonna refresh his thing real quick, and hopefully it'll
No,
be
no, 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 no. Don't
Yeah,
refresh.
he had some Joker fish for dinner.
No, just stay right there. Just stay like that.
it.
You would like
All right.
that day.
Look smacking is basically enhance your natural gifts, taking your looks from good to outstanding. Not a level playing field. You have to keep catch up, maximizing your own potential. Okay, so
If he is looks maxing, it was completely by accident.
yeah.
Great.
Okay. Well, actually, I learned a thing, so the more you know. All right. We're going to be basically breaking down a few different things. Like I said, we talked about October and everything going on there. There's some Deadpool rumors that we're going to be talking about. But first things first, we are going to do a full-out review of Castlevania Nocturne. The latest iteration when it comes to what Netflix brought out, which is a follow-up to the original series involving Trevor Belmont, Sifa Belnatus, and Alucard, has been pushed ahead 250 years to now Richter, Maria, Annette, and someone else I can't remember because honestly it was less than memorable to me. You guys I know liked it. I will quickly say right outright, you in green shirt, do you Mew? Actually, no, he's more elf. I think in this case, anything else.
No, we have a guy that does elf.
Yeah.
All right. That
right.
would not be me. That would be the guy that was looks maxing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all right. We're getting. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go back to this anyway. You guys basically liked it. I have some issues with it, which apparently, as it turns out, so does actually many people. Because
What the hell?
the
What?
current score on Rotten Tomatoes is a whopping 49% audience score.
And only
and-
13 reviews from the critics.
And also, if you take it to, in this case, Metacritic, you'll see it's about a 5.5 audience score as well.
Why?
I have some thoughts in that arena. Part of it to me comes down to basically how they
now,
chose.
now he's moving. Okay.
Yeah, how they chose to actually play the character, what they decided to do with Richter in a few different regards. I know there was some degree of complaint about the race swapping, which I'm okay with, but my issue with this largely is what they decided to do to the Richter character. There was so much backstory on Annette, in North America, her backstory, the slavery side of it, her childhood, her upbringing, her escape, her.
Yeah, but it was
There
like
was
one
so-
episode, really.
Yeah.
But
Of
there was
all
so-
8.
But how much did you really get when it came to Richter's backstory? You got his mom was killed, and then basically he's 20. You didn't really get you got less backstory on Richter, your main character, your guy that is on the cover of your show, than you actually got on a supporting character.
Right, but you already had like the main driving force of what happened to him. You had the trauma of watching his mom get murdered by is it Orlocks or Brox? Like
Orlocks, I
say
believe,
dude's
is the
name?
name. Yeah.
Orlocks.
That's the
Orlocks.
dude. The dude
That
on the
dude,
left side.
yes.
Yeah.
The Indian vampire.
Yeah. Okay,
Sorry, Native American vampire.
Is that what he is? I couldn't tell.
I thought he was black.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's Native American. That's why he's got like that long silky hair. It's like
What you trying to say? Black people can't have silky hair?
I'm just saying if
I
you're
would
gonna
like-
go
I
ahead
would
and
like
present
to-
someone from like
I would like to
Central
have hair like that. I would like
America
to have hair,
and
yeah,
like
that's
America
real.
early days, it's like that. All right.
But here's the thing: the original.
Right, he didn't put any product in. All right,
Doesn't matter. He's a
got a
vampire.
sheen going. Yes, it's blue.
He's like
gorgeous.
a
no relaxer.
Velcro.
There was no relaxer used. All right,
Hmm.
they didn't
How
have
do you
that.
know? How do you know?
And
All right.
besides, when you compare it to the
Right.
actual like
Rating,
African American
you just
characters
digging
that are in
yourself
this,
even
you can
deeper.
tell the difference.
But by the way, we're still on. The comment section is still on LooksMax right now. By the way,
I do not know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. We're just gonna we're gonna roll with that one for a little while. I think there's a whole bunch of comments in that arena.
Yeah.
But yes, ironically enough, Rob is best known for cosplaying as Buddy the Elf,
Right.
which has gotten him, believe it or not, a fair bit of notoriety on TikTok in the Midwest by going to conventions and having people actually want pictures with him because of how much he actually just plays Buddy the Elf.
Exactly.
And I've had celebrities take pictures with me, ate dinner with me, and sign
Yeah.
things for free.
And all because he
No,
looks like
does
Buddy.
good work.
And
Secondary costume creator would probably be Davion with his Red Hood attire.
Yes, that is true.
So much so he has used it at New York Comic Con, where he's also hosted a panel on Black Futurism.
So
Thank you. Yeah.
And then I just work at a haunted house sometimes, and I look like a hunter. So that's the extent. I do have a BB gun.
Right.
and I worked in the film industry when we actually had it.
Yeah.
Which we do
Right.
not at the moment.
Right.
Well, again, these are a lot of people that have never seen us before, so they got to know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
He wears
are
a
all-
mask
these are
every
all
day.
days- I think these are all days people, to be honest.
They are. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because they're wondering about the two white guys below you, so no
Yeah.
one's asking a thing about you.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're not asking a thing about Day. They're asking about, they're not even asking about me, which I guess I'm kind of maybe okay with.
Well, you didn't know what Look Maxim was, so
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
true.
think that's pretty obvious.
Dude, I'm a 48-year-old white guy. What do I know about shit?
Well, you also are ringleader, so I mean,
Oh, yeah. So you're saying it's my responsibility that I should know about this kind of stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
you all.
Be informed.
But okay,
Anyway,
back to the
Vampire.
yes. This is one of the things that drove me absolutely crazy. And I'm sorry, I think you're going to be able to agree with me on this.
Okay.
In this particular storyline, okay, his mom is murdered. He's a 10-year-old kid. It's obviously very traumatic. It is haunting his dreams every single night. He's dreaming about the death of his mother. He finally faces down, the murder of his mom. In the middle of a fight, all four of them, they're fighting together, battling, faces down and finally sees the man that murdered his mother in front of him. It's the most dramatic event of his entire life. And what does he do? He starts crying and runs away like a bitch and leaves the three women by themselves to have to go and fend for themselves as he runs away screaming.
Okay.
This is your hero, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy that is
To be
on the
fair,
cover of-
three women that can all use magic that he can't anymore.
Yeah, but I was going to say, what a dick move. This is supposed to be your main guy. This is, the original series, Trevor, for all his faults, would never have pulled that kind of crap. The original series, by the way, fun fact about the original series, it was written, all 32 episodes were written by a guy who started out with Justice League Unlimited, went over to the Marvel anime stuff from about 10 years ago. So like X-Men, Wolverine, Iron Man, Blade. He wrote the Blade animated series from 10 years ago.
Mm.
That's the guy that was involved. The exec producer of that series was the same executive producer of Adventure Time, which won an Emmy. That was your tandem for your first series. This one, I looked up the IMDb credits. Most of these people have no IMDb credits whatsoever. So I'm sitting there looking at this thing and thinking to myself, what's off here? And it occurred to me, this is Masters of the Universe Revelation. Netflix did the same thing with that series as they did with this.
Oh no, not this again.
Oh yeah, this again.
Oh God.
Your main character.
No, because I liked that show. You reviled it.
Yeah, and you know what? As it turns out, so did a lot of other people. Because that's 500, right? That's 500. When I first posted the thumbnail for this, it was at 54%. Now it's down to 49. And Metacritic had the same thing. But what's hurting the brand also, in this case, and this is where some of the issue is the fact that basically you've got the Twitter page itself is putting posts like this out. You know, you're bringing down your main character on the Twitter page.
But you got to do it like explain. Okay, you got to blame the writers. Whoever.
Yeah.
But not.
You know? I mean, listen. Annette was a good character, but Annette was not the main character. If Annette is the main character, you put her on the cover of it, and that's fine. But you set it up with a bait and switch here, and that's where I always have a problem with this. You know, you want to jump ahead and pass Simon, that's fine. I'm okay with that. You want to make Annette the main character and her journey coming across, that's fine. You advertise it as such. You do not say, I'm going to basically, this is Richter's story, and then pull him out of it and focus on someone else. That is the same exact thing that Masters of the Universe did. And that's why fans were pissed.
No, and I totally understand why you and them are pissed, because y'all wanted to basically elaborate on his story.
Yeah.
Maybe make it a side story for her, which is kind of fair.
She was a good character. They race swap, fine. I don't care about that. They made her a good character, but they made her also have to be more of a main character than Richter. And that's where I had a problem. You know, if you're going to make her the main character, you make her the main character. You know?
And I kind of agree with Scott on this one.
I don't. Yeah, I can't get behind that, because I mean, what if nothing else, we saw that there were so many different angles to the original Dracula story back when they were bringing in Trevor and Sypha and Alucard, not to mention how much they focused on what was going on with Dracula himself and the other vampires that were integrated with him. And even after he was gone.
So, Dracula's not even in this series. He's in a maid bandy the entire run of
He may be.
So.
He may be. Well, he may be. Because, I mean, that's one of the beautiful things I'm loving about this.
Your first season one, they only
that's a shame, Lord.
Yeah, Lord,
way,
I'm so
you
sorry.
May want to shower. You may want to shower, just saying.
Well, the thing is, what we're getting with this series is probably the reason they went with Richter in the first place. It's because, really, we're following around the Alucard timeline. And so we're taking what we had with Trevor and Sypha, which was basically Castlevania 3, and now we're taking this from Dissonance leading into Symphony of the Night.
And that would make it,
which is probably the best Castlevania game ever.
Honestly, I can see that with the cameo at the end where you get Alucard and the original voice too. So respect to that. But like I said, in this particular case, you spent seven episodes and 90% of episode 8, of the entire series, Alucard free. So if you're going to make it an Alucard series, you can't have you can't build up all the other characters and throw them in for cameo. You can expand his character for season 2. That's fine. But if you noticed with the first series, the first one was a very small story. It was just basically just a couple of battles here and there, and it was just really just Trevor and Sypha and their and their connection and their banter back and forth, and honestly comedic banter a lot of times too. What was great about the original series is you had Trevor, Sypha, and also Alucard with this bond of friendship, but also at the same time this banter that was also insulting sometimes, where you could tell they kind of got into each other's skin, but they really, really, really cared about each other.
Right.
Because it was basically like an old joke that they used to do back then. It's like, so a Belmont, a speaker, and a vampire walk into a bar.
Walk into Dracula's tomb, yeah. And like I said, from that perspective, that bond and that symmetry was there. Here, it was just a bunch of people walking around doing things. And it felt like there was less camaraderie and less bond, and I think with Richter being the tragic hero, I think you lost a little bit of the magic of what Trevor was. Trevor, for all his faults, and boy, did he have a lot of them. He was a fun guy you rooted for. Richter, I couldn't get behind. I felt he was just kind of just there.
Well, you also got two very different characters between Trevor and Richter. Trevor was somebody who was like pretty much at the end of his rope. I mean, he was the last Belmont. His name had been drugged through the mire. No one cared about what he did or his family. He was basically just like a drunken loser who had like one last chance to rehabilitate himself and his name, and he ended up with a wife even.
Yeah.
So with Richter's a different story because you have more of like a coming of age sort of thing with him. I mean, regardless of what happened between the time span between his mom being dead and when we come up on him when he's with Maria and the revolutionaries, the fact of the matter is we have had a guy who pretty much had this trauma, ran away from it, started doing his own thing in a foreign country rather than staying in Massachusetts, which, yeah, okay, I would have preferred it that it actually stayed in Massachusetts because I think that's pretty funny that we'd have vampire slaying in like, patriot country. But
the series took place in Europe, so they had to move it over there.
I know. That's the thing. I understand why the move, but the fact that he ran away from this thing and then all of a sudden this thing that he thought he ran away from, which was in America, pops up. He doesn't know how to handle it. He's still a child. He's still basically a teenager when we come up to him. And
at this point, he's 20 in the series over here, by the way.
Okay,
so basically,
he was 10 in the
barely legal. All right, for the internet, barely legal.
Can I pause out? Can I pause y'all right there?
Yeah, sure.
Because you said he was 20.
Yeah.
So technically, he's still wet behind the ears.
Yeah, like he was saying when he was talking to the abbot, he was basically killing like one vampire a month, and now all of a sudden he had 3 in one night. So this is already like a wet behind the ears. Oh yeah, I have a whip. I have a couple of knives. Being thrown into a situation that he has no experience with. Whereas with Trevor probably had too much experience. He was old.
But
he was weathered.
If he's killing one a month, and then 3 at a night, he's clearly good at what he does. And you showed the skill set, where he's basically just thwacking the knives into the tree with his whip. He's showing that,
he's talented, but he's not tested.
But
this is showing him tested. That's why at the end of the series, they basically lose.
Yeah. Which, okay, I'm okay with that part of it, but it just felt like, I don't know, like I said, you're building up something that was not him. What worked for me with the original series was, each one of them got their time. They all 3 of them got to see, you got to see their backstory. You got to connect with them. Here, I think
you really with Sypha?
You kind of did, because remember in the beginning, basically she was trying to free the speakers, so you understood her,
right? Which means her background was what, a half an episode. Otherwise, she's just basically the magical companion of Trevor.
Yeah.
I still feel that there was more development of those 3 than we got of these 4, and I think part of the problem was with this also is that we were thrown into all 4 pretty quickly.
Fair.
Whereas opposed to. With the original one, you had Trevor and Sypha and then Alucard, and they all later on they all kind of sort of went their separate ways a little bit. So you got to explore their own individual stories. Alucard's attempt to try and pick up the pieces after killing his father.
Right.
Where you start to see their own lives and try to adjust. Then they started to add more characters and things like that. And then they had the Forge Masters and their storylines. You got to expand outside of it. Here, you got 17 characters, bam, right into your face, and I think that hurt it a little bit.
Well, I think it's also going to back with the conversation with the abbot. The one thing he says, especially with the title of the first episode, it's like what we have in common is our hatred of evil thing. That's basically the subplot of these main projects. The only thing they have in common is that they want to go ahead and kill vampires and stop this Messiah. Right. Outside of that, they all have their own issues, their own troubles. It's kind of more like a young adult Castlevania show rather than an anime, which is what we got with the first series.
Which is fair. Listen, the animation was stellar again on this. I had no
problem. Oh yeah, absolutely. That final fight scene in the church.
Yeah.
Ooh,
but by that point, honestly, I was sort of checked out. And then they just sort of like threw in the grandfather and he's like, I've been watching over you, but I didn't want to be involved in your life.
Yeah,
You know, and I didn't ever want you to meet me. But
I did like that they had more
food.
Belmonts. You know, I do like that they had Juiced in there.
Yeah.
I probably would have been happy if we had actually seen Victor's father, but I guess since the mother was the Belmont, it
By the
doesn't
way,
really
Rob is
matter.
watching your comments and laughing hysterically. He's been putting it on
Yeah.
chat on our side. So,
But the only thing that's going to upset me is that now that this is the timeline that we're getting, we're never going to get Simon Belmont on camera.
you know, I was okay with that because I felt in my mind that Trevor and Seth and Simon, their timelines were similar. You know, as far as like development goes, you want to jump ahead 250 years, you have a marked difference between the Dark Ages and, like, say, the Renaissance period. So I didn't mind that one entirely. I was surprised, but upon reflection, I didn't mind that in the least. I just felt like they were riding the name of the original series too much for this one, and going with that attitude of just like, you know, let's see, 30 seconds to name every Belmont. Oh boy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like not every Castlevania game has. It should, but it doesn't.
So.
Quick thing. Robert has been silenced. Yes, I'm using because
has Robert seen the show?
No,
Robert has never seen the show.
They come in.
So therefore, I don't have anything to chime in because I've never seen the show. So yes, I'm letting these y'all yap because for you guys for the first time here, normally I'm doing a lot of yapping. So I'm letting them all yap because I have no idea what this is. I know it's an anime. I just haven't seen it yet. So
well, it's an American anime.
Yeah, it's American.
Yeah, which I usually am not a big fan of in general. But
I know, but I mean that's even a phrase that people don't like to hear because it's like, no, if it was anime, then it would be
this. You know, Amerikajin no anime, mo daikidai, kidai.
And address the comment. No, I do not have autism. I have ADHD. But yeah. So, anyways, we'll go back to the review.
Yeah, the comments are coming in. You know, kind of like trolling the kid a little bit.
My screen is like full screen, so I'm not
going to pause right here, guys.
If anything's addressed to me, fine.
It's addressed to me, but Rob, like, come on, like, audience, be fair. No disrespect.
Day, be fair. It's the internet.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's okay.
You know what you're going to get.
Give Day credit. He's looking out for his dude.
I appreciate that. Yes, and I would do that too if I knew what was going on in the chat, but I don't.
That's also why I mentioned the fact he has a TikTok following bigger than all of us.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, I ain't saying shit.
Yeah, worth a mention on that one, I think. But yeah, like I said, for me, I was disappointed a little bit, and I don't know if I'm necessarily going to go back to season 2.
Oh, I'm definitely going back. I want to see how this. I want to see how this cleans up. I really do.
Right.
I want to see if it gets to Symphony in the Night level, and they do bring back Dracula. That's my crux. I want the Alucard story to really be the thing that finishes this.
My problem is the fact I've got too many things on my plate anyway. That I may read the synopsis of this when the time comes, but I don't know. I think in this case, like I said, to me, it was just like, the first series was better, even with its ups and downs. It felt like the first series was a love letter to Castlevania. This was a love letter to the stock price.
Well, that's the thing. I think A.D. Shankar, who pretty much made the first series, he's still executive producer on this, but I don't know if he's necessarily as involved as he was with the first one. Yeah. So that's probably the real crux of it.
And what happened, like I said, the first series was all 32 episodes were written by the same guy all the way through. The guy I mentioned before. You know, this one had a bevy of different writers per episode. And some of them only wrote like a couple per IMDb. Some of them only wrote like 2 shorts before they got the episode. So it's not like they have a lot of experience. But the guy that wrote the first series, he had been writing for 20 years. Like I said, Justice League Unlimited is where he started. Mm-hmm. So there's a difference there.
About, this is like a trial period, considering they are dealing with a lot of things that are different from the original series. So it's probably one of those things where they're seeing what works, they're seeing what doesn't, and then probably by the time they do make season 2, they'll have a better understanding of the direction they want to go and how they want to.
If you haven't already lost your audience, though.
With Netflix, I think it's hard to lose audience like that because,
but
if you haven't lost it by the binge model, they're gonna stay.
But like I said, with everything that's on right now, all the options part of the reason no one cares about the writer's strike is that you have tens of thousands of hours worth of stuff on each platform. That you're like, I don't care about new content. There's so much content out there that's new to me.
Dude, I'm still watching One Piece. All right, I'm on like Punk Hazard right now, so it's like.
Dude, there's 1,000+ episodes of that.
I know, that's gonna take me for the rest of the year. I'm good.
That doesn't even include mobile gaming, console gaming, manga. I mean, I'm reading Ori the Dragon Chain. None of you guys even heard of that, probably.
No.
So,
or even just regular freaking movies, especially since it's like October. Scary movie time.
Yeah. The problem is One Piece is too much filler. I'm about to go into a 10-episode filler arc.
Oh God, yeah, no. I mean, I can go through quite a few episodes in one evening as long as I'm fast forwarding through everything.
Now, let me ask you this: are you watching Japanese or English?
Oh, I'm a dub man. I am.
I'm a dub man.
Here's the thing: if there's something that's been dubbed and I haven't started it, I'm gonna watch the dub because then it's just gonna be easier for me to like go through. If it's something where I have to be reading all the subtitles, then it's something smaller I want to focus on.
So, I mean, in this case, I think Steph went through the entire series of One Piece dubbed because she can basically do it as background noise and watch when she had to. So Steph, our operations director in this case, went through in one summer, went through every single episode of One Piece and got completely caught up. So,
so wait, that was a while ago though. She didn't like just do it now with Gear 5 coming up and everything.
Over this past summer. So
she did over this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Well, not easy. All right.
Maybe Rob will start it tonight and have it finished, before Ryan.
Yeah.
You want to roll that competition? Oh, you want to do that? All right. I'm already practically 600 episodes in, and you think you're going to beat me before that?
Ladies and gentlemen, shots fired.
By the way,
get to the betting tables, all right? We'll put this on FanDuel.
Shots fired.
Rob will have it done by the end of the month.
Oh,
that's impressive, dude.
Wow.
No, that's him pretty much just like strapping himself to the bed and like force feeding himself.
By the way, the season
he'll need a bedpan. He won't be able to go to the bathroom because he'll miss a couple of episodes.
Or bring the episodes with me.
Good.
Or mobile, dude.
Oh yeah, because that always works when people are just constantly looking at the phones and then walk away. Did you see the person that died because they walked off a cliff playing Pokemon Go? And you want to do 1,000+ episodes of a TV show? You're gonna die, son.
Well, I've met most of the voice actors, so I'll be okay.
Well, yeah, okay. You've got me on that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, yes.
So, according to Binge Clock, by the way, that's how long it's going to take you to run 24/7 to catch up on One Piece.
Okay, 21 days, 17 hours, 31 minutes.
You just skip sleep.
That's no sleep.
You can mathematically listen. He can get 8 days worth of full sleep on that. If he did 16 hours a day, I think it's possible he can get it done.
This might be the scariest thing I see all month.
So
you see my face, right?
See now your looks, Maxon.
Exactly.
Which day I wish you best of luck on that competition, but yeah. How are you doing on that competition? Speaking of it.
What competition?
Did you ever make it to top 10?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Faces horror thing.
Yeah.
That means you do not have the scariest face then.
Okay. So that means I'm attractive.
Yeah.
You are very man pretty, I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks.
So. But okay, are we done on Castlevania?
Yeah, apparently I also had the wrong title up the entire time. Whoops.
Yeah.
So, all right.
It's fine with me. My name's up there. I don't care. But yeah, as far as Castlevania goes, I liked it. I will watch it again. Is it more plot heavy than say the first season? Yeah, absolutely. But
it's not funny though.
I would say so, considering all the different directions that you're looking at and all the different characters and their perspectives. But does that lessen my interest? No. If anything, that just gives me more possibilities to gleam onto. I'm not a curmudgeon like Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember.
And he's going to see me in person on Wednesday. I know it's going to hurt me somehow.
Yeah, by the way, let me ask you this. What is happening Wednesday that I made happen for you?
Ooh.
Yeah, Ryan, why don't we just go into... I'm going to open up the screen, so basically it's you. Remind me again, what do we have on Wednesday that I get full credit for because I'm 12 levels of awesome?
Ooh.
Yeah, what happened?
Day, shut up.
All right, so here's the deal. I may as well just toss this out. Why not?
Go the wrist train.
No.
All right.
Go ahead. You want to go first?
Well, come on. Suspense.
So, for those Let's Plays and gaming and just funny stuff on YouTube, we have Game Grumps live coming here to the state of New Jersey this coming Wednesday in Red Bank. So there it's Aaron and Dan, and who we've had Dan on conversation quite a couple of times, both here and on our sports channel. If you want to go ahead and check those out, and they're going to be coming with Nathan Barnett, aka Dadbot. So yeah, we've had him on our stream. We have video clips of us
from
talking
Game
with
Grumps and Ninja Sex Party, the lead singer. Yeah, he's a awesome
same guy.
dude. Yeah.
Yep.
And Scott did line up the tickets for the event as well as the VIP Q&A that we will be administering.
For the record, Dan, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. I didn't ask to be put on the VIP. Dan put us on the list. He said, just give me your names. I'll make sure you're on it. So we'll get to hang out. We'll get to hang out with the three of them one-on-one because Dan was like, oh, yeah, just let me know. I'll put you on.
Scott facilitated all that. So
ladies and gentlemen, if I had special sound effects on this, it'll be like bang, 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 bang.
And without Scott, I wouldn't be here to this day. At least on the stream, not in live, but here.
Yeah,
I'd probably do something, but Scott makes it easier. So I mean, thank you, Scott.
So Scott is the man, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen,
you know what it is? It was one of those things that you find something that people have interest in, they never talk about. So for Dan, it's sports. He plays games all day long. He tours with Ninja Sex Party, but he.
Oh, we can take the Castlevania down. We can.
Yeah, we're talking good. We got to take the other thing up anyway, pretty soon. But yeah, so in this case, what's nice about it is that he has an interest in things outside of that, and honestly, it was easy. Yeah. Ninja Sex Party is the top-selling comedic album in the country. It actually outsells Weird Al Yankovic, who they've had on their shows before.
Yes.
So it's God, this looks mad and shit, man. I'm learning so much tonight, man. I'm getting education.
I mean, if I am, I'm a little chagrined about that. Yeah, I probably would. But again, that's more me being sheepish at the fact that, yes, I do owe it to Scott. Dude, it's not like I did it myself.
The thing. The amount of stuff you pulled to the table on like the wrestling side or that Roku thing you sent me earlier, you got all three of you guys pull your weight so friggin' much in so many different ways. It's just one of those things that in this case, I was just busting your balls.
Me more so.
Yeah, I was busting your balls a little bit because I forget why actually. But
Ryan, I don't want to hear it.
So, thank you, man. Be good. By the way, your name is awesome. I just want to put stay looks back at
Mickey Cheese. Stay awesome.
That's more for Robert than anybody else.
Yeah, but all right. So yeah, like
what was that, Ryan?
He said, "Stay look smacking."
Yes.
Look Maxon.
I'll always look.
I gotta find out what the hell. I gotta learn more about that.
Yeah, me.
Look Maxon. Looks Maxon.
I come from the era of basically kids saying gnarly and tubular. So
yeah.
Extreme.
California, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. 1987, Michelangelo.
Yeah, old school tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I come from the era when basically we learned marijuana was bad because Michelangelo told us so.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah. And Alvin and the Chipmunks and Garfield and all this kind of stuff. So
I love the Chipmunks.
Look maxing and mewing. So. All right. Anyway, I feel like I've lost control here.
You can look for mewing. Just Google that for let us know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what mewing is.
I don't either.
Sorry, guys.
We're going to go on
the older generation.
Ryan, do you want to do the thing?
Yes, I want to do the thing.
In this case, I don't know how this works, so I'm going to try and see what I can do here. There. Okay. That worked.
Good
By the way, credit to Ryan for making that intro right there.
And I'm going to pause y'all. Mewing is a facial reconstruction technique that involves keeping your tongue on the roof of your mouth to change your jawline shape.
Well, okay. So we got this.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd definitely do that.
Well, see, my problem is basically after having the dental surgery, I've got a temporary implant here, which has this thing in order to keep it in place. That's you ever had like gum at the roof of your mouth and you can't get rid of it? That's literally what it feels. That's literally what this thing feels like right now. Because I sit there and I play with it with my tongue on the roof of my mouth constantly. You know, so it's like there's up here, and it's really freaking weird. Eventually, the permanent tooth is going to go back in, but for right now, I've got this weird ass thing in there.
Jay, while you're
That's
on
terrible.
looking up things, you want to look up what's looks smacking?
Looks like. By the way,
I thought we did that.
We already
we
did that.
No.
All right, so you know what, Ryan, I'm
What
going
was
to
the
turn this over to you.
definition then?
I think Scott said it.
Scott
Yeah.
said you looked it up?
I did, yeah, I don't know what it is, but
Okay, never mind.
that's good. Ryan, do you want to talk?
Yes.
Oh.
Ryan disappeared.
All right, there we go. Okay.
No, I wanted to make sure I got my coloring right.
That's
Oh,
nice.
he's all in red, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm scared.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Jay, can you let me set the theme?
Sure.
All right. Oh God, I'm glitching out anyway. So yeah, okay, never mind that. Never mind this stupid camera. All right, anybody that's watching, if you want to go ahead and deposit like a account or something like that, definitely go ahead, send it to Stream Punk as your socials, and they can go ahead and start
TD
getting
bank
the
account will
money
be fine.
together for me to have a new
I'll give
camera.
you the routing number.
That would be very helpful to me.
What the shit?
Well, I'm because I don't want to look like I'm like glitching all over the place, but I mean, apparently GoPro is allowing me to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to this camera because fine.
That's much more
God
scary.
damn it! All right, so October, Halloween, spooky season. God.
All our viewers just dropped, by the way.
So, man. Come on, don't make me feel bad about this.
No, go ahead, Ryan.
All right.
Got this.
So because it is spooky season, because it is Halloween season, because I love horror, whereas some of the people on this list do not.
Whoa. Pause. I like horror too, so don't.
I said some,
I think he was looking at me in
some.
my direction.
Which is meaning us both.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the candy asses over here.
Meaning 50% of the guys here are not fans of horror.
Guys, in this case.
Which is why I am personally taking over to institute some horror into this month. And this month, to coincide with our talk about Castlevania Nocturne, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about vampires, specifically vampires in film, vampires in television. What constitutes making a good vampire, let alone a good vampire movie?
What constitute?
I did not say blah, blah, blah.
Yes, that's the greatest vampire of all time. That's Edward Collins.
No, it is not. No. It is a different vampire. I will give it that. It was different.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Not the
That's
best.
Batman.
Wait a minute.
It's just, he's the worst.
That's a different Batman, yeah.
He's the worst bat of all
That's
time.
a different kind of Batman. That's a bat. Look, say what you will about Twilight, but I do see the appeal of it, simply because you basically found a way to get maybe a certain type of gender involved in a horror franchise, or at least a horror type character, that under normal circumstances they probably wouldn't watch movies about them. Before Twilight, vampires were pretty much just you're pale and you got fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the classic Bela Lugosi from the black and white movies, or things from Fright Night in the 80s, Bram Stoker's Dracula, old fashioned type of stuff. Twilight did something for the horror franchise and horror in general that may not necessarily be the best thing, but it certainly got people involved.
Darn it.
So I will not shit on Twilight.
There was a meme that
I can shit on Twilight.
Okay, Dave, if you want to go ahead and shit on Twilight, go right ahead.
Don't.
Yes. Like, that's true horror right there.
That's Fright Night, by the way.
Exactly. Fright Night.
Yeah, that's classic.
My filter actually showed up and tried to block this, too. It's kind of funny.
That's what horror's supposed to be. Not this glorified beauty of a vampire that just sits back in when the sun hits him. He glows.
The last movie was not glorifying, just to let you know.
But he glows. Look at this.
It's okay.
It was a high school drama that was actually with the with a vampiric backdrop.
And it had werewolves.
Yeah.
I mean, look, to Twilight's credit, the way they made Robert Pattinson and the way they made vampires in that, it's not too far different from what Bela Lugosi was really trying to put through when he first did Dracula. Look at the original Dracula. Now, yes, in black and white, he may be creepy looking to an extent, but there was something about him that you didn't see with like other monsters or other villains of that era. He was suave. He was debonair. He was like a refined gentleman. He was as classy a mofo as you could possibly get for back in that day.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right. That look, if you took away the whole collar and you didn't think he was a vampire, you're like, that's a dude that's got his old Rolls Royce.
That was
You know,
just like
that's a dude with
Nicolas
money.
Cage.
He got a castle. He up in the hills. He balling.
Because when you deal with vampires, ladies and gentlemen, you're not thinking, oh, you know how they look. Oh, like, oh, that's a vampire. No. Vampires can be regular, ordinary people.
When I think of vampires, I think of Nicolas Cage now.
What? Or
wait. Oh, okay. In Renfield.
Yep.
Renfield. Yeah, that was a freaked up Dracula. That was a Dracula that had been through some bad years.
Some bad times.
What is that?
And then, yeah, you have one of the most popular shows on cable right now, What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Classic.
You know, that's taking that classic vampire and just like, you know, the aesthetic is the aesthetic. I mean,
You put them all in Staten Island and just record their daily life.
Right.
right.
And audience, I was trying to find a vampire Funko Pop. It's somewhere in my collection that I can't find.
Now there you have the originator, Nosferatu, Dos Vampire. Just an ugly looking dude. It's like, imagine if this was like the main prototype for Dracula. Instead of Bela Lugosi, we just had this to work off
Well, that was
of.
the original.
Then you'd be getting the stuff that you got with like Fright Night and all those other like creature feature type movies where it's just like a big gaping maw with nothing but fangs, looking like a wolf with no hair.
Hey, I'm Coco Chocula.
Yeah, no, exactly. Count Chocula would be like your main vampire with his
Speaking
big
of TV shows that are vampires, don't forget about Vampire Diaries, which was actually really good.
Right, which again takes like that whole Twilight mentality of like gorgeous people being maybe a little bit iron deficient.
That one was a lot more gruesome.
Nah, True Blood.
Yeah.
True Blood was also a good one, sure.
Of course.
They've even had Dracula in television form. I think there was a version with the guy from the Tudors? What's his face? John Reese or John Rice, I think. You know who I'm talking about, right? John Rice Myers. There you go.
And
yeah, he had a Dracula. And there was also a Dracula from like back in like the 80s. I remember late 80s, early 90s. There was a syndicated Dracula series that I just grew up on. And I always admired that because it's like, how is Dracula and the Van Helsing so close to each other in the same town and they haven't killed each other yet? Like, we're talking like a whole series long where they know of each other's existence and they just haven't done it. And they've got like lasers and shit. It's like, it's a fun series if you ever find it.
And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, we have vampire. Oh God, did you just post that one?
Yes, I did.
Allow myself to introduce
myself. No, but we're gonna start off by the famous vampire that we all know. The one that basically made the respect and put the respect in vampire. You know what? I'm not going to do that because that's
actually, Scott, you can go ahead and switch us out here. So this way, the vampire.
I don't even know where he's going with this, actually. So
I am.
Was it Adam Sandler as blah blah blah? No, just kidding.
No, not that Dracula. Although you can't deny that that particular Dracula, Adam Sandler's Dracula from Hook series. It is so much based off the Bela Lugosi Dracula.
Okay.
Or fun fact, Brian Hall took over.
No, main vampire that put vampire.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I know where he's going
I
with this.
see exactly where
the respect in vampire as we know it. Blade, baby. Blade.
Yes, the Daywalker.
Yes. Doesn't matter. He's a vampire.
I was gonna say, speaking of Marvel, he's crossed over in the comic books Dracula with like Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about early 70s/80s. They did the crossover where #1 issue was Dracula with Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, no, I play Marvel Snap, and I've got Dracula in one of my decks as like one of my main cards.
Actually, you know where Blade's actually also canon? What We Do in the Shadows. Because they actually did a Zoom call with Wesley Snipes, who recreated the character again as Blade for a Zoom call on one of the episodes. Yeah,
nice.
That is awesome.
That. And you know what else actually add to it too? In that movie, Donald Logue, if you remember, was also one of the vampires who worked for Stephen Dorff's character. He actually Donald Logue. It turns out in the series, he's been a vampire his entire time. He was just playing his own true role in Blade. Which means when I stood in for him on Gotham, he was really a vampire back then. Which explains why we did so many night shoots on that.
I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, it was confirmed that Morbius was originally supposed to appear in Blade, but it was cut out.
Yeah, that is true. He is.
Yeah, I think that they were going to go with him instead of Deacon Frost as the villain. But
and speaking of another vampire, Morbius is another vampire.
And then we got him in Ryan Reynolds in the third one.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
Which also had the third one also had its own Dracula.
Yeah.
Yes. Drake, as they called him.
Drake.
And it wasn't played by Triple H.
I am the game. Nice to meet.
Okay, that's a nice chair. No, that chair's really. He just got up. That's a spider chair, man. Can we just shout out that?
Yeah, sorry, I got up for a good reason.
No, it's okay. Actually, that's a really cool chair.
Shout out to Marvel and that chair. That chair is fire. Marvel, if you hear us, can we all get that type of chair?
Yeah.
You can if you order it.
I mean, it's definitely a Miles Morales chair, so maybe with the new movie eventually coming out in the next year or so. Just saying.
That is true.
What's up, Danger?
What's up, Danger?
Anything else on vampire?
Don't be a stranger, Marvel.
Anything else on vampires?
Well, okay. So I wanted to ask you guys, regardless of your fears about horror movies and everything like that, what is the best vampire movie you guys have ever seen?
Hotel Transylvania.
That's the one you're sticking with, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I probably have to go with Bela Lugosi. I remember growing up as
the original, black and white.
Because I remember watching that as a kid and kind of being a little bit freaked out, but not really out of the entrapment thing bothered me a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like in a lot of ways, that to me is the best because it was something that was never done before. Everything else in some iteration had some flavor of that or other things, had something to draw from. I mean, okay, Blade is a vampire movie kind of, but it's really more of an action flick.
Right.
So it's not a vampire movie per se. In my mind.
Okay, when you say vampire movie, are you talking about the actual no comedy, just scary?
Just the fact that a vampire is a part of the main plot.
Well, Blade 2 in that case too, but
okay, so if I would go, because there's a couple that's on my mind. I'm gonna throw out one called Vampire in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Oh, Eddie Murphy, yes.
And
it's got easy they do.
I'm sorry. I almost did the Eddie
Murphy. Don't act like I didn't see it. With Dwayne Wade or Kareem Abdul-Harrison, whatever his name was.
And the other film, Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. Have you watched any of the television series on AMC?
True Blood, yes.
No. The Interview with the Vampire TV series.
Bits of it, but I heard it was really well done or good. So,
well, I mean, just to bring it back to Game Grumps, the the guy who plays Louis has a fan of the show. He was on a guest scrums before.
Yeah.
Back when he was working on Game of
Mm-hmm.
Thrones.
Wow.
So again, it all just comes back to them.
Basically, that's the Seen Elsewhere thing, where all series tie through that one kid.
Exactly.
So.
All right. So as for myself, I would probably have to go with Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
Just Gary Oldman
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
as Dracula. That whole look with the long hair and like the gray top hat and the spectacles and everything. Probably the best I've ever seen Winona Ryder look. Keanu Reeves, say what you will about his acting and him trying to be British. It did not work. That's just that classic old Dracula look before he goes ahead and goes to England, they're looking old debonair. It's just so freaking iconic. You know, whether it's been spoofed or not. It's like, if you want to talk about like a menacing vampire, yeah, you can always go ahead and probably talk about whatever vampire was in whatever movie, but nothing surpasses the name brand recognizability of Tepes, Dracula, whatever you want to call him. And if you're talking about the man, between this and Bela Lugosi are like the two most iconic looks for the character.
Right. I do agree.
We left one out.
And really,
it needs to be brought up. Go ahead, finish your thoughts.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, Morbius.
Yeah,
we won't count Morbius in any of this.
Why not? He's a living vampire.
Technically, he's not technically a vampire. He only sucks plasma besides blood.
Well, no. Here's the thing. That whole thing about him sucking plasma was for the animated Spider-Man series because they didn't want the whole sucking blood thing to happen. So instead, they said he needed
Fox
plasma.
Kids. Yeah, it was Fox
Not
Kids.
blood, plasma.
And yes,
which is essentially blood.
They destroyed more telephones on that show than any other show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, okay. All love and respect to Monster Squad. Obviously, that's more of an amalgamation movie, which will come up in a future episode once we get to our Monsters edition later in the month.
Yeah.
But before we close this out, I did want to mention a couple of movies that wasn't mentioned as far as like vampires are concerned.
I was gonna say Monsters wasn't mentioned.
I would always consider these required watching for anybody out there. The Lost Boys. No one said anything about Lost Boys. If you're talking Interview with the Vampire, might as well go along with Queen of the Damned.
Yes. Yes.
30 Days of Night, which I think is definitely one of the better concepts for a vampire movie.
I'm going to put that up because I have to.
Rest in peace, Aaliyah.
I'm just going to leave that picture right there.
Fair enough. Salem's Lot, which is classic Stephen King, if you wanted to go vampire with him. Renfield, I definitely did like that one.
I did like
it. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes.
If you want to talk there. Which I always find funny with that because when you look at the television series, they swapped out the vampiric nature. It's like they weren't like bat-oriented vampires. Instead, they were like snake people.
Right.
Which I get, but it, not to make a pun, but it did take like some of the venom out of it for me. And then just if you want like a binge sort of session, Underworld.
Oh yeah.
Probably the best thing Kate Beckinsale ever did, which counteracts the worst thing Kate Beckinsale ever did, which was hook up with Pete Davidson. So, it's all about balance in life, Sorry for anyone that's still watching. I don't like Pete Davidson. That's just going to be a running theme if you keep on coming back.
Yeah,
Voice your opinions about Pete Davidson. What do you like? And also let us know in the comments what vampire movie you liked best. Whether it was comedy, whether it was action, whether it was scary, whatever it may be.
How's that?
The Anne Rice cinematic universe.
Don't forget the Monsters.
Are we talking about the Munsters movie that came out last year?
No, we're talking about the Munsters.
The Fred Gwynn one.
Yeah.
The classic
one with
black and white.
the one with
one from the 80s.
The one with Butch Patrick as the
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Although to be fair, it's like Lillian really didn't do anything vampiric. She was just like there. Grandpa was more of a vampire.
That's what I was saying, but they still count.
That guy milked that character for so many things there.
Oh yeah, even when he did like guest appearances on other shows.
He did like intros to movies, sort of like a Swenguli sort of thing going on.
Just Grandpa.
Yeah. He did 900
but
lines.
Again, all back to that classic Bela Lugosi look, man. Basically, nowadays, if you just see like a dude dressed up in all black with a black trench coat, he's either Neo or he's a vampire.
Yeah, oh God. Yeah.
I'm in the Matrix.
Blade and Underworld. Blunderworld. All right.
I mean, I'll take Blade over Underworld anytime, but I do think that Underworld does have like a nice amount of like world building.
All right, so there are a couple selections if you want to check it out on Netflix. Night Thief and Night Shift.
Don't you mean Day Shift?
I meant Day Shift, yeah, but then it was
with Jamie Foxx,
and also another one with Megan Fox. Which
you guys forgot the best childhood movie with vampires. Don't forget about My Little Vampire.
That doesn't
with the little kid from Jerry Maguire, right?
Yeah, that does count.
Okay.
Whoever said that doesn't count. There was actual vampires.
For me, Monster Squad was my childhood vampire movie, so it was like apples and oranges compared to
that movie. Yeah, God. That is my favorite. That is my favorite vampire movie. Sorry, that's my favorite.
By the way, I just want to show this real quick. Then and Now.
Yeah.
Wow.
The kid from Jerry Maguire now.
And the kid from Stuart Little.
Yeah. And also.
Oh, that's right.
And also, I believe the Jeff Foxworthy Show.
Oh. Yeah. Another film, ladies and gentlemen, that recently came out last year. The Invitation.
I didn't see it.
See, that one I did not watch. Was it decent?
Yes, it was decent. I do recommend it because I was very impressed.
All right. Who was even in that? Like,
I'll tell you right now.
No one you can say by name off the top of your head.
Natalie Emmanuel, Thomas Doherty, and Sean Pertwee.
Oh, Sean Pertwee. I stood in for him too. Okay. So.
Oh, okay. Television's Alfred.
Yeah, television, and also the son of third Doctor John Pertwee.
Okay. Well, but I know where you're going with that. And here's the thing. I'm strictly looking at. Well, yeah, I did mention Lost Boys. We did, but I'm looking strictly at just vampire movies, things that have like a monster amalgamations, like Monster Squad or Van Helsing, where you have both like vampires and werewolves and mummies and all sorts of different monsters all collaborating in one thing. That's its own separate thing.
And one more thing, sorry. Blood Red Sky, which was ultra violent.
Not familiar with that one.
That was another Netflix film. It is a subtitle film, but I am not gonna lie. That was really good.
Well, why would you lie to us today? We trust you.
Did check it out.
Well, I mean, you can trust them.
Then check it out.
But yes, so folks, in the comments, let us know what vampire movies you like. If there's any hidden gems on streaming that we haven't been able to check out. Wait, Dracula Untold. That's the origin story of Dracula that was supposed to be setting off that whole Universal Monsters universe.
Oh yeah, okay.
Are we talking about the Tom Cruise universe?
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Before Tom Cruise's The Mummy, there was that Dracula Untold that was supposed to like really like start the whole thing going.
That worked out well.
But they kind of copped out on it.
Because it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everything's got to be.
Well, it didn't do so well. I mean, it was a decent film, but I wouldn't necessarily say this should be like your Iron Man.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm Dracula. I'm Batman.
I am Groot.
I am Groot. We are Groot. Oh God, we are Groot.
Stunners for everyone.
Okay,
All right.
Okay.
So, you want to move on to the last thing we talked about?
Yeah, if you can fit it in.
Phrasing.
Wait, tell us.
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Oh God. I'm signing off. How do I?
You know, I'd be okay with that.
No, I'm not. I'm out.
Well,
Bye,
okay.
Dale.
I know. Obviously, after last week, we already had a good amount of Taylor Swift talk, but apparently, talking about Taylor Swift is a big deal.
They need
and
to
even
shake it
more so
off.
now because
This
it
is
has
horrible.
been either rumored or confirmed. I don't know which exactly. I know Ryan Reynolds has been talking about it, but there has been talk about Taylor Swift being one of the many cameos added into the new Deadpool 3 movie, which obviously is halted for production, but in the meantime, they can still go ahead and do this sort of stuff. And I think they're bringing in Taylor as Lady Deadpool, which, if anyone knows the multiple Deadpool crew that goes on in the comics with the dog and the little kid and all that, there is a Lady Deadpool.
All right.
No, but think about it. If she does make an appearance, that movie's going to be skyrocketed. I mean, it's already going to be skyrocketed on because of all the most of the
Because of Hugh
that are
Jackman.
confirmed of Hugh Jackman, but you bring in the Taylor Swift fans too,
Exactly. I can see that.
it's going to be sold out.
Wamba, I think you might be right. I think that I know there was talk about there supposedly was supposed to be adding Dazzler. I think
Dazzler,
it was supposed to be in like
I could see her as Dazzler.
the younger X-Men generation, not like the old, obviously, but
No.
yeah, I think it was supposed to be like the second or third movie with like the Ty Sheridan X-Men that they were going to bring Dazzler in like that. I think she may have like a cameo. The character may have a cameo in like some campfire
He did
scene.
show up in one of the movies, yeah. Not a thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a big thing where it's like, oh, we have to get this actor.
Well, see, here's where I mean, I'm kind of in Day's camp on this. You know, would she be a good lady? Would she be a good Lady Deadpool? Probably, but it's so clearly to me being done as a PR grab because you have Taylor Swift in your movie, and more importantly, you have Taylor Swift 274 million Instagram followers, which by the way is where she's at now. So again, this is where my issue usually comes in with it, is the fact that you have the social media following being such an important part of movie casting now, where it's not about talent so much, it's about how many people can market your product for you. And that's where I think a lot of these cameos, if they're going to go full Space Jam 2, we'll say in this case, you know, with the cameos on there, then you have all of those social media followings out there plugging your product for you. And it becomes less about the quality of the product and more about PR.
Yeah, Call Me Snake does actually bring up a good point. When we've looked at Taylor Swift in the past, when she's done movies like Valentine's Day and stuff, you know, she hasn't necessarily been like a draw for that. But to be fair, back when they were actually putting her in movies like that, she also wasn't as big of a thing as she is now.
Yeah.
All right. Her hype has skyrocketed, especially I'd say probably over the last 6 years. And I don't think she's been in anything during that time, really.
And
well, Cats has its own notoriety. Cat has its own. Look, a lot of people went for Cats for the wrong reasons. All right,
there's a certain furry element to seeing Taylor Swift in that movie.
Yeah, I'm sure there were plenty of people that went there to see Taylor Swift in cat suit form. I don't know if many of them were Swifties, but I'm sure plenty of them watched.
So we talked about Taylor Swift obviously last week, and I told you guys that my theater is not the type that you can pre-buy tickets. I messaged the person, and he said, we will be adding it to the website. So that right there tells you that the movie's already going to be big, because they don't normally do pre-sales on any movie. They didn't do it on the Avengers. They didn't do it on Spider-Man. They haven't done at all. So this, when the Taylor Swift thing, I can't remember what day he said, but he said it's going on the website to pre-buy tickets.
All right.
Well, not only that, but apparently the Era's movie, which was only supposed to be like a domestic release, as a sort of like, an apology to the Swifties because they couldn't actually go to the physical concert because of Ticketmaster.
Right.
Screw you, Ticketmaster. But now it's getting a worldwide release. So it's no longer just a U.S. thing. It's going to be global.
That's awesome.
That is the power of this person.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it is a cash grab, it's probably one of the smartest cash grabs that they can actually go ahead and do. That's stunt that they can do.
But see,
to be fair, even getting Hugh Jackman back in itself was a publicity stunt.
Yeah, well, that's why I have a problem with that. Here's the thing. I think it would have been really cool if nobody knew about it. Because what works for, like, say, Deadpool 2, that time travel scene at the very end of it, you didn't know what was coming. Every single scene, you're like, okay, what's next? And then when you had that small little Wolverine cameo in there, it was awesome. And you're like, okay. And then, you have the Ryan Reynolds where he's reading Green Lantern, and that it's like, it was just one thing after another. Now it's like, there's too many things that we're already aware of. So I think it loses some of the magic and the unpredictability that is Deadpool.
Yeah. But I mean,
or it's all just smokescreen, and this is how much you're getting versus how much you'll still not be aware of when it comes out.
And still, to defense to what you're saying, Scott, it'd be like the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. I mean, there was rumors that like the 3 Spider-Mans were going to be that that the villains were going to come back, but you still had that nostalgic factor, or you still had that shock when you actually saw them on the actual screen.
Which, well, you know what it is? There was speculation. You're right. There was speculation. But the problem with Wolverine is you saw a picture straight up. You see him in the yellow spandex, which you can sort of see right here.
So which was obviously a publicity stunt, because as soon as people saw him in this full on, because there was even that one little scene that said maybe one day or something like that, when Deadpool's like maybe one day, and he shows like the suit.
He's like, I'll get you in the next one.
Yeah.
But I guess to me, I want to be surprised. I want to be, holy shit, look at that. Now.
Look.
Then stay off the internet. No.
Look, with Ryan Reynolds' involvement in all this, I still believe you're going to be surprised.
All right. Yeah.
All right. This is simply just a simple way of promoting a movie, which obviously is on hold now, and I think it's a very smart way to not only promote the film, but also to bring in a fan base that maybe would have to have somebody drag them to
274 million followers on Instagram, like I said.
Right. Even if you get a fraction of that, that's still more eyes on the project.
And that's why I'm saying it's more of a PR move.
Yeah.
That's where I feel personally, being the old fart that I am, that this loses some of the magic in there, because it's more about trying to recoup losses, from the writer's strike.
Well, it's kind of like
let me put it to you like this.
Sorry.
If they're going to do a Lady Deadpool, and mind you, for those of you who don't know, it's pretty much just Deadpool, but it's a woman. Who would you cast if not Taylor Swift?
I would, honestly, I would go really funny with it, so unpredictably, just humor me, Oprah Winfrey, because you'd never see that shit coming. You would never see that coming ever. Maggie Smith,
on Taylor Anna something.
Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Somebody you basically out of left field, you're like, what?
Like, as a comic relief, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that Oprah holding 2 katanas.
Dude, how funny would that be if she was Lady Deadpool?
But the thing is, we might get stuff like that regardless of Taylor Swift too, because as we've been hearing, there's been other castings for Deadpool variants.
You get that wrong.
So this thing's gonna be so multiversal. It's gonna kick Loki in the ass.
Which, by the way, is coming out this weekend. No one cares.
Oh wow!
I care.
McDonald's cares.
Oh God, yo.
Oh, that's the wrong advertisement.
Or you talked about
in the show.
Still,
Scott, we were talking about social media. It's now. I know we don't really talk about basketball, but Mr. Beast has teamed up with one of the teams where now they have
the Charlotte Hornets. Yes.
Yeah, have the Feastables as their logo now, and that's the first ever social media team or social media thing ever combining the franchises.
And I did a 75-second reaction on the Sports Channel about that earlier today, because for the Charlotte Hornets perspective, that is a genius move, because that team is always at the bottom as far as social media. Nobody cares about it. It reeked to me. It reeked of Lionel Messi.
See, and Wamba, just to your choice, I could see Anna Kendrick more as Gwenpool. Because Gwenpool has like that cheery, chipper disposition that Anna Kendrick can really sell.
Yeah.
With someone like Lady Deadpool, you kind of have to have someone with like Ryan Reynolds sarcasm, like Aubrey Plaza would probably make a good Lady Deadpool, because she will just cut into anybody.
You know what you could do here? I'm going to take it a step further. Could you have Aubrey Plaza in there alongside Chris Pratt? Could you figure out a way to make that work and reconnect them from Parks and Rec?
I mean, it's all going to be in the MCU, so why not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know,
you'd show up as Star-Lord, and she'd say something to him, and it would hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know what her name is, but another person that's coming to mind is the lady from the Percy Jackson series that plays Annabelle. If you guys have seen Percy Jackson, the movie.
I remember them, but I'm forgetting who. I remember Sean Bean was in them. Did he die? I forget if he died. Did he die?
Alexander Daddario?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, geez. Alexander Daddario? I don't know, man. It's like,
I'm just
look. The reason I'm saying,
I'm gonna pause right there. I just thought of something. You said Gwenpool?
For Anna Kendrick,
no.
Yes.
Let's take it up a notch and twist it. Millie Bobby
Brown.
Yeah. Millie Bobby Brown
could.
As Gwen Stacy and keep Anna whatever as Lady Deadpool.
I could see it because Gwenpool is kind of more childlike in that sense. So yeah, maybe a younger actor would probably fit the role better. But again, we're talking variants here. So I mean, with variants, it could be anybody, and it would still.
If you want publicity stunt, just bring the person that played Wednesday, the new Wednesday show. She's in everything.
Oh, Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
Nah.
No. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
No.
No, I'm saying as the younger character you guys were saying, not Lady Deadpool. If we were talking about like
Gwenpool.
Not even that. Nah.
But
it's okay, Jay. It's okay. You could just
Jenna Ortega is like a little bit too like she has that Aubrey Plaza mentality. Remember when they were like they hosted that award show together? They did that one award and they same energy, exact same energy.
She'll be in Beetlejuice too.
Yeah,
whenever that comes out.
They've been talking about that for decades. Supposedly they're filming that right now, though, or were.
They said I think either 2024 or 2025. I seen something, but I can't remember which. But yeah, so
is Jeffrey Jones going to be in it? Is the dad from that one?
Michael Keaton.
Will Alec Baldwin or Jeffrey Jones be in that movie?
No, Winona Ryder is supposed to be in it, and Jenna Ortega is supposed to be her daughter.
You know,
Michael Keaton.
So that probably means, Lydia's parents are probably long gone or long dead.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's supposed to come back supposedly.
Yeah,
there was rumors that Johnny Depp was going to take over as Beetlejuice. This was about
that was back when the trial had ended.
Yep, there was whole rumors and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, no, don't want that. And I think after the disappointment of Flash, I don't know if Michael Keaton feels like being nostalgic anymore.
Nah.
Right,
dude, he phoned that in for a paycheck.
Not his fault.
Do you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Yeah,
that's MICHAELKE.
But yeah, look, personally, whatever you can do to hype up a Marvel movie and actually get people excited at this point, I'm
Disney
all for
needs
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So even if it's just cameos or one-offs or whatever, and this whole thing rewrites the multiverse or gets it in line for Secret Wars, have at it.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, but well, look who showed up.
Oh,
where have you been all this time, young man?
Kyle, you are at least 50 comments late.
Yeah, at least. There's a whole spread of stuff on here. Mostly about.
And yes, there is a Lady Deadpool versus Gwenpool. Lady Deadpool wears the red and black just like Deadpool does. Gwenpool is more of a white and pink.
Yeah.
And Lady Deadpool is married to Thanos, right?
No.
Or no? Wait, hold on.
I mean,
Lady
maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. Lady Death. Never mind.
Well, no, just Death. Lady Death is a whole different comic book character.
Right.
No, they're called. I've looked it up. There's a character called Lady Death that's in the MCU. It's not called Death. It's called Lady Death, and it's in the MCU.
That might be, but we're talking about Death.
He is correct.
Death.
And
Right, but there's a difference between Lady Death and Death.
No, yeah, that's Lady Death. I know.
Yeah, but usually Death is just known as like.
I know you're talking about Chaos Comics, Brian Pulido's Lady Death, but she is literally called Lady Death in the comic books.
Hmm.
And she's married to Thanos.
Right, Deadpool and Death have their own thing going on, and Thanos don't like that because Thanos likes Death too.
Right.
Although that's why I would think if Lady Deadpool married Thanos, whereas regular Deadpool likes Death, that's just like a swap, swingers thing making.
Well,
sorry, what were we talking about? My mind went off.
11:06.
I'm just done with the whole Taylor Swift crap.
Oh my God. Hey,
They're still upset.
Dave, please just shake it off.
I'm not shaking it.
Stop.
I'm not shaking.
No, yeah, Death is not married to Thanos. Thanos is like the ultimate simp because he keeps trying to get Death, and Death keeps saying no.
Friend zone, you're such a good friend. Why ruin our friendship?
It's like, but I got these 6 jewels for you. It's like, oh, those look nice.
So
just puts it on her dresser.
Oh, thank you. You want to get dinner?
And then Deadpool comes in with like his Corvette and be like, "Hey, baby, want to ride?"
It's like one of those memes. It's like the guy she tells you not to worry about.
Yeah. The guy with all the scarring, it's like, oh, no, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're just friends.
Exactly.
Mary's my friend.
Friends, yes.
Scars look like chlamydia.
Ooh.
Deadpool be rocking them bones.
On that note,
I'm Robert. That's Ryan.
Oh crap! Okay.
Wait.
I'm Robert. That's Ryan. That's Scott. And that's Day. And this is Tales from the Film Set.